All right, here with World Championship trainer Glenn Rushton. Glenn, your daughter's back in the ring this week. What are your thoughts on her fight?
Look, it's a good fight. You know, Jaala's a very tough girl. She's won the last 2 fights on the trot, so she's very tough. We can see how tough she is. It's going to be a good fight, a good challenging fight. She's probably a couple of inches taller than Angel. She's a southpaw, and as I said, she comes from that MMA background, so tough as nails.
What are you made of Angel's progression as a professional so far?
Very good. Like, she never misses training. That's one thing I'll say about Angel, is she turns up every day at the gym. Even after a win, you know, she'll only have a day or 2 off and she's back in the gym. So if you do that, you're on the right track. You're going to get there. So I'm happy.
And you're happy for her to be on a big card like this as well?
Look, I love, obviously I want to make her a world champion. I totally believe that she can become a world champion. And we've got our eyes on Baumgardner, who's the current, holds all the belts in the super featherweight division and just had a big win recently. So she's the target. That's what we're looking at, and everyone else is just in the way.
So what I guess is the path to get to that point.
That's it. So it's just, you know, we keep measuring ourselves against where we've got to beat Baumgardner. And as I said, everyone else is a stepping stone. And of course, that's shown no disrespect. But yeah, you're always looking to be good enough to beat the very best. And if you can beat the very best, there shouldn't be too many problems on the way. But you've got to turn up every fight. And what makes boxing so exciting is that anything can and does happen in a split second. So if you just zone out for a second, you can be on your back.
Now, the other day, Jeff Horn called it a day. How do you sort of reflect on his career and look back on his achievements?
Look, it was an incredible achievement, and where Jeff went from a bullied school kid to what he did to become an Olympian, and in the time we did it on, we're just reflecting on this the other day, and we said he had his first fight at 20 and a half, and I set the goal then to make him a world, an Olympian in 4 years, and we did it. We just went bomb, 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 3 national titles on the way, consecutive Olympian, and then in 4 years to be not only become a world champion, but to beat the fighter of the decade. It really was a David and Goliath story, and what Jeff did is just insanely spectacular. And you know, he certainly become a shining light, I think, to so many others. They said, look, if Jeff can do this in such a short time, to have your first fight when you're 20 and a half and do all that, maybe I can do it too. So, yeah, I'm really happy that he's led the way for so many people.
What do you think it was about Jeff that got him to where he got to? What do you think? What was special about Jeff Horn?
The biggest thing, he believed. Okay, I believed before he believed, but he believed because I believed. And he said, do you really think I can do all that? When I said, I'm going to get you the Olympics in 4 years, make you world champion. And I said, Jeff, I really believe we can do all that. And he said, if you think I can do it, well, maybe I can do it. And they were his exact words. If you think I can do it, because he looked at what I'd achieved and he thought, well, maybe I can do it, you know, and then he just bought into the dream. And it's amazing with belief what you can achieve. And that was the key, I think, to the whole Jeff Horn story, is that Jeff believed. He firstly believed in me, and then he believed in himself, and then, as they often say, the higher you climb, the broader the horizon. So as you climb, the belief just grows and grows and grows. And I said so many things through Jeff's career, like he'd lose a fight and I'd say, that guy will never beat you again. And he'd go, what, I've just got my butt kicked. And that guy never did beat him again. And I said that to him a few times, and every time it come true. Everything I kept saying to Jeff come true. And so you can see why the belief just grew and grew and grew until he was indestructible. So, yeah, it was an incredible journey, and kudos to Jeff Horn, and he's still a lovely guy, and we still work together to this day with Bullyproof Australia and what we're doing there, and, you know, helping thousands upon thousands of children.
Now, Jeff's second title defence was against Terence Crawford, who's in the ring this weekend against Errol Spence. Any thoughts on that fight?
Terence Crawford wins the fight. Okay, I really believe Terence Crawford wins the fight. I'm a huge fan of Terence Crawford. I just love the gravel in his guts, the toughness of the man. I just love that, you know, and I really respect his abilities, cat-like. He's incredibly fast. He absorbs a lot of information. He seizes the moment, as you saw with Cal Brooks, instantly. If you present any opportunity at all. And of course he creates those opportunities. He seizes the moment, so he goes from a counter puncher to an incredibly vicious attacker in a heartbeat. So you make one mistake with Terence Crawford, it's going to be all over. And my prediction is either he wins on points or he gets a late stoppage. Probably see him maybe getting a stoppage in rounds 9 to 12. So late in the fight is where I'd see Terence Crawford if he can get the stoppage. Of course, that's taking nothing away from Errol Spence Jr. He's an amazing fighter, which Jeff was going to fight once early in his career, but it never come to fruition. But yeah, incredible fight. I just can't wait for it. It's going to be, to me, the most exciting fight this year.
If you've been opposite Terence Crawford, if you were in the Spence corner this weekend, how would you what would the game plan be to beat him?
Look, I think I've always believed there is a way. I live by that motto, there is a way. They all go down is another thing I say constantly. Everyone is beatable, but you've got to obviously have the belief and you've got to have the right preparation, you've got to have the right strategy. And if he hasn't got it right now, he ain't going to get it right. So if he hasn't done the programming by now, Errol Spence Jr., and I'm not going to say anything, I do believe I know the way that you need to beat Terence Crawford, but I'm not going to give it away because too much respect for Terence Crawford, Bomac and the whole team.
Now, did you see George Kambosos, Maxi Hughes on the weekend? Any thoughts on that?
I didn't see the fight. I only saw the comments that were coming through, so I can't comment. I mean, all the comments were coming through were saying he was losing the fight, so I didn't see the fight, so I can't comment on the actual fight. And as I said, looking at the comments, everyone was saying that he was losing the fight, by margins of probably 4 to 6 points. That's what they were saying in the comments, but I didn't see the fight. I understand it was very controversial. I think the world of George Kambosos, but it sounds like it wasn't his finest performance, but he's got the win, so he's just got to move forward from where he is now.
And he's put himself in a good position to fight maybe Lomachenko for a vacant IBF title. How do you think he goes in a fight like that?
I thought Loma beat Haney in the last fight, so again, and I did see that fight, and I still believe that Loma won that fight. That's my opinion only, of course, but I believe Loma won that fight, and I think Loma has got the answers. This is the thing, a saying of mine is when you've got all the answers, what is there to worry about? And in this case, I think Loma has all the answers. So, it's going to be a tough day at the office for George in that fight. But that being said, as I said before, they all go down and there is a way to beat all fighters. So it's just up to George as to, if he can do the work to get the job done.
Thanks so much, mate.
Always welcome. Cheers.